Welcome to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. I am your host, B.O.B. Bob, but I will go by the name of Robert Lee or Jr. if you insist on being formal. And as always, from the south side of Chicago, Illinois, give it up for my main man, Martise TC Watch Senior.
You know what I'm saying? I've been watching our show, man, all these years, and I'm hitting the air. I called Bob and said, no more air drumming for me, man.
No more air drumming.
I'm hitting something.
You saw
I'm
that
Chicago. You're cracking right, man. I'm tired of playing the air.
So funny, man.
What up, boy?
He called me that. He called me with that the other day, man. I said, all right, man. I said, I ain't even know nothing like that was even sitting back there, man. That's
I'm
funny.
find something to hit on. I'm tired of not here. I'm hitting from now on.
Man, first, man, welcome to Jaw Jacking this Sunday, man. Y'all don't know. If y'all don't know TC, man, TC come up with stuff. He be coming up with stuff, man, that you don't even think about. But make sure that you like and share our video. You know, actually, man, it's crazy, man. I might need to answer that because that might be our guest.
Handle that. Well, I finished talking for you. How y'all doing out there? TC in the building. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all little weekend. How was y'all week out there? Mine was very productive. You know, good knowledge. You learn who with you and who against you. So I hope y'all take y'all lessons and learn from them. And when my man come on back. We got a nice little show today for y'all, though, with fathers. You should pay attention to this show, fathers. We got something cracking for y'all.
What's up, man?
In this corner, we have the folk body snatcher.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry, we was interrupted. I guess it's sort of stuck in traffic. There's a lot of traffic out there.
Yeah.
So, I didn't want to not answer the phone because I didn't know if she knew how to get up there. And we got it. I'm sorry, man. That kind of threw me off. Anyway, if you got any ideas about a show, feel free to call in. The call-in number is 708-223-8953. We have a whole nother studio on the other side that we need to fill up. We need to fill this whole another studio up. So if you get any entrepreneur ideas about having a show, make sure you call in. Go ahead.
Yeah, Earl. I want to do a show over there. I'm letting you know ahead of time. Good entertainment. It's for my music. What's up, K Guns? I want to do a little show for music on Jive though. So I'm gonna have artists coming in and doing their thing.
So you want to do it on Jive, huh?
Yeah, we gonna be
explain everybody the difference between us and Jive. So
all right. We are iHeartRadio, right? So we talk and we have our show with no cursing, But on Jive, you can jive. You just talking like you bring it. And the reason for me want to choose that, not because of that, but most of the music, I don't want nobody to have to change what they bring into the studio. Everybody's song ain't gonna be cursing because it's gonna be R&B people also. But the ones that do curse, I don't want to feel like they don't. Nah, you go in there and do you.
Right.
So Guns, get it cracking, get everybody ready. Hey, Troy, you out there doing music. You're going to come on here. Everybody check your music out.
There you go.
We're going to show a way. Everybody get out. But it's a fee. Ahead of time. Ain't no free. Ain't none of that. It's a little maintenance fee. Will be applied to everybody on that show. So let's get it cracking, Bob.
It's a little bit of chump change going on.
Yeah, a little something, man, for the youngsters.
Hey, we all got to do our hustle. Everybody got their hustle going on.
It's not a hustle. It's some real, man,
So, hey, first of all, I'm going to tell you about the ways that you can listen to the show on Intellectual Radio. You can listen to the show. You can subscribe to Intellectual Radio channel. You will be live streaming on air. And then you can also go to YouTube, subscribe to Intellectual Radio, and you can listen to the show right now as we live streaming right now. So you also can listen to the show on Spreaker app. Go to the Spreaker app. Is that one of the call-ins? Yeah, I told you to call in at 4:30. Yeah. This is one of the guys that's from Chicago Fathers and Sons. Just 1 second. I'm sorry, man. We just off, ain't we? We
good. We're doing this live. We got tell them why though. You know, we will explain why. I guess they're supposed to be here to talk about fathers. Had to be a father. His son was playing baseball at the U.S. Cellular Field, and he with the White Sox little program. And at the last minute, he had to be there. So now we making adjustments to bring y'all show. We don't owe y'all apology. We let you know what's going on.
Yeah, that's
what it is. Now,
that's
Bob apologize.
That's just how
deal with the show. Oh, y'all that.
Man, 2018 house giveaway. I wanted to bring this back up.
Yes,
go to ruckerholding.com. My man DeAndre Rucker came on the show with Jaw Jack and him and our man Tiger Toledo. They're giving a house giveaway. So make sure that you go to that website and plug yourself in, fill out the application, or it's not an application, but it's to tell why.
Yeah,
what's your story behind why you should get the home. You know, you can apply for that. Also, this next Saturday, March 17th, mark your calendars. March 17th at 7 p.m. The doors will open at 6 o'clock at Elysium Art Theater, 403 West Lincoln Highway. Come check out your boy. I'm in a play called It's Time to Go Back. Old boy Bob got a little role in the play, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get my acting chops on.
That's what's up. I support that.
I'm playing a male stripper, overweight stripper. So I'm
y'all let me know how that go.
I say how that go. But check us out. Come check us out. My sister Lindoria, she is always doing her thing. She wrote this play, and I want y'all to come check it out. We got a good cast that's going on. I want to try. I don't want to mess everybody's name up, but Elisa, Inez, my man Ricky, Cornelius, Nakia, Isaiah Russell, Isaiah brother, man. Isaiah Russell, man, he big boy, man. I hadn't seen him in a long time, man. He big, man. I mean, swole. Like, I ain't know he was that big. I'm like, oh, what up, Bob? I said, man, that's what's up, man.
Well, shout out to Millhorse Russell. What's up? Oh, wait a minute.
Well, let me just finish giving this.
Come on, man. I gotta get this moment out.
This information. If you want to come check out this play next week, check it out, and you can leave me an inbox on my Facebook page at Robert Orr on Facebook, or this time I'll give my email address, jawjacking with Bob and TC at Gmail. If you want a ticket, $20 tickets, $25 at the door. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. It's worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, my son basketball game. My son hit the game-winning shot at the buzzer. Man, that feeling, the game winner. That feeling. When that ball went in, I jumped on that court, man. I that was a half of the whole month. No, I wasn't 3-pointer, 2-pointer, but it went in.
Hey, it don't matter. It
went in. The game winner. Shout out to Lil TC, Turk. That's all y'all need to know.
One more. Hey, plug love to my man Montel Griffin. Montel Griffin out there, 2150 South Canal Port. Got a boxing gym called the Windy City Boxing Club. Windy City Boxing Club. It's Clarence Griffin, Windy City Boxing Club, 2150 South Canal Port. The hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And on Saturday and Sunday is 10 a.m. to 1. So if you got some young men from 8 years old to 80, take them over there. Let them get a skill set and a discipline. A lot of men around in the Chicago area need this discipline, I believe. That's just my opinion. Just from my years of doing mentoring, I feel like I'm a little qualified to get that point of view out. So make sure you plug them in. So I gave you the play. I gave you the house giveaway. And I gave you my man Montel Griffin. And we got a call on the line, and I don't want to hold my man up because this is my man Marcus Wolf. So is he on the air? Okay, yeah. Okay. Marcus, what's up, man? You hit the button? Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Marcus Wolf, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. I apologize for not being in the studio, but my son, we have a Chicago Fathers and Sons study, and it helps build healthy bonds between the father and the son. And my son plays for the White Sox ACE program in the city, and he asked me, Dad, can you go to my game today because I'm being evaluated? So I said, well, I gotta help build a strong bond between myself and my son. So
Yeah, you wouldn't be no good if you didn't go make your
call
son.
in.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate you making adjustments, man, as always. Thanks for calling. I want you to tell everybody about yourself real quick, real briefly. Tell everybody about your background real quick, and what made you get involved with this Chicago Fathers and Sons study.
So I originally went to the University of Michigan for a conference, and Dr. Caldwell was a speaker, the person who is responsible for starting the study. And she mentioned that she was doing a study with boys and fathers in Flint, and that they wanted to come to Chicago. And so while I was there, I said, well, I know the plight of what's going on in Chicago, and for 8 to 12-year-old sons, I'd like to help. That was about 3 years ago, about 4 years ago, actually. And I kept in touch with her. And I know that we really need help with turning around the violence and the way things are being done in the city. So I worked with her, and I started out from the very beginning with the program being replicated here in Chicago, and been working with the program for about 3 years. My background is social work and health administration, and I just became a doctoral candidate with the in gerontology, which is an intergenerational study of aging. So this really fits my skill set, and I'm so happy to be trying to help brothers out and the sons out here in Chicago.
So the program actually started with research in Flint, Michigan?
Yes. So they really originally did the study in Flint, and then it went so well that Dr. Caldwell figured, well, we could replicate this across the nation. What impact that would be a great impact. And so she was able to, get funds from the National Institute of Health, and they gave us a 5-year grant. So this is a 5-year study, and we're going into our 3rd year. And they brought it here to Chicago. We work with a community partner called the Clio Center right there on 55th in Indiana.
The Clio Center?
Yes.
With Aaron Thompson.
With Corey Barrett.
Where Aaron Thompson does the what you call the S Word project over there. 55th. Well, she used to do the S Word project on 55th and
in Indiana?
Yeah, right there at the Clio Center. The one you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, 55th and at the Clio Center. That's where it's at. 55th in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's where the intervention site is, where we actually hold our meetings. And so it's been going quite well, but we need to recruit 400 more fathers and sons. And so we're very, I'd like to first of all say thank you to Rob for having us on and letting us get the word out. And if anybody is interested, we definitely could use as many fathers and sons as we can. I don't know if you were able to explain the requirements for the program yet.
No, I was waiting on you. I'm gonna run across them right now since I got you on the phone. So I'm gonna run across them right now. I'm gonna have the program benefits, and you just correct me along the way. Program benefits and a program eligibility. First of all, the benefits: strengthening father and son relationships, increasing family life and healthy lifestyle behaviors, exploring cultural issues to improve health, learning about physical activities and nutrition. Program eligibility: African American fathers and their 8 to 12-year-old biological sons who do not live together. Right?
Right, and that's what we call non-residential.
Non-residential.
So yeah, when we say non-residential, it's the non-residential father and the 8 to 12-year-old son. Now, I know it's just to clarify, the father, as long as he says he's African American, we take him. So he can be purple, but if he says I'm African American, we take him. And the son the requirement is the son has to live on the south side of Chicago. The father can live anywhere in the city.
Really? Do you mind me asking what's the purpose of I guess those kind of restrictions, so to speak? I mean,
well, so here's the thing. I'm glad you asked that question, because here's a lot of nonprofit organizations are doing something similar. This is not, even though University of Michigan is a nonprofit entity, this is a National Institute of Health research study. So there's differences between the two. You have to write the guidelines according to whatever grant is set up or according to what kind of research you're doing. Mm-hmm. And so this was what Dr. Caldwell initially started, was to see what the relationships, how they would change and how to build those strengthen those relationships with that age group. Because if we catch the young man as early as possible, and if there is a father who's not in the home, hopefully we can help build them. Now, I know there's a lot, so we're not, to answer your question again, it's the way the IRB is what we call the Institutional Review Board stipulates you have to do it that way. So we can't just change anything. Okay. You always have to stay within the realm of what was written. And so if we got another grant, we could write the grant or the funding according to a different structure. But this one just happens to be the requirements for it.
And this is funded by the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development.
Yes.
Okay, so that's who write the grant out in order for you to
the grant. That's who funds it. That's who funds it and oversees it. So this is a federally funded grant. Mm-hmm. And so this particular study deals with non-residential fathers and the 8 to 12-year-old sons. And I do know, and I've had this question come up before: why not residential fathers and that kind of thing? Yeah, we're working toward that. We're also working toward fathers and daughters. But you have to understand that it's money. It's money that has to be given so that you can do that. And this just happened to be, like I said, when it was in Flint, this is what it started as. So we're just replicating it in Chicago to see if it works.
Okay. For this project office, the phone number is 312-877-5870. Again, the phone number is 312-877-5870. And it's fathers and sons at Michigan UMICH.edu.
Yeah, what you could do, I'd prefer to give my email address.
Absolutely.
Because that email address goes to Ann Arbor, and my email address goes, and you can email me at WOLFE, so Wolfie, okay. And M like in Marcus, like in boy, at umich.edu.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Okay, so that's WOLFE at UMICH.edu.
Okay.
And if there are groups out there or anybody out there that would like me to come out and do a presentation, talk to people, I'm more than willing to do that. I just left another event earlier today in Inglewood. I'll go in the day, I'll go in the night, but I'll make sure that whatever we have to do to meet the people in the community, that's the reason I am the person, the liaison. Even though it's the University of Michigan, they have the funding, but they're in Chicago, so they needed someone in the city that knew the city, that was a father. That I don't know if you remember about 4 years ago, President Barack Obama had a science fair, and there was a young lady and a young man from Chicago, and he said, "These are my Chicago homies." That young lady was my daughter.
Oh, really?
Right.
I'm saying really like I remember it or something. Yeah. Oh, really?
But people, when you see it, you go back. But so people know me in the city as being, a father and being involved with the community. And so that was one reason why Dr. Caldwell was willing to let me help with the project. And it's a wonderful project. And it's something that's near and dear to my heart, because I know with the violence that we have currently, it's not that it can't be subsided. It's just we just have to do what we have to do to help the young men and the fathers, and hopefully we can help them build bonds between each other, which in turn will help families.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate your call. Your girl, Brianna Lemon, just came through the door, so we're going to make sure we plug in. We're going to give her time to do the rest of the information to everybody.
Okay.
But you make sure we're going to stay plugged in, man. You make sure you check in with us, and we'll make sure we get this information out. You said you need 400 fathers and sons.
Fathers and sons, yes.
Right. And
we pay the fathers and we pay the sons. So, and we feed them.
I'm too old to be a son, right? I'm too old. I'm a little too old to be a son, huh?
Oh, you're always a son.
Let's give it up for Marcus Wolf, y'all in the house. My man, Marcus, thanks for calling in, man. We're going to bring in your girl so she can finish the rest of the interview, man. Enjoy your son. Congratulations for what your son's doing.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and what type of father you are. I can hear what type of father you are, man. You got your daughter plugged in, too. So.
Well, I'm just trying to help the community and help my family. That's all.
All right, man. You be blessed, brother. Thanks for the call in.
Thanks for having us.
Yep. Man, real quick question. I want a question today, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a question of the day. The question is, should you and your lady, should you know how much money that your mate makes? That's the question. If you got any feedback on it, should you know how much your mate make? Huh, TC? Should you know how much you make? What about you, Earl?
It don't bother me. No,
I
don't have to know. No, I don't have to know.
You don't have.
I don't have to know.
I don't think it matters to me.
Yeah,
like what you mean. You know what I'm saying? What about, should you share a bank account? Should you share a bank account, Earl?
I mean, man, that's something you want to do. If I ain't own none, that's something you want to do. But I wouldn't suggest it. Ain't no mandatory. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me.
It won't bother me at all.
No. Because you still know what money is, what you put in there. I don't care. I don't care what it is. It look good when, money hit the bank account. It's like, whoa. And you got to go to her bills. But then you're like, whoa. But anyway, on the other side of the break, we'll bring up our guest, Brianna Lemon. You're listening to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC
on IntellectualRadio.com.
Welcome back to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Again, that's IntellectualRadio.com. The call-in number is 708-223-8953. You got any ideas about the show? We got a whole nother studio we got to fill up. A whole nother studio. Y'all, Earl said he'll give y'all it'll be $10. No, man, I ain't gonna get no quote early mess around and cut my mic off. Anyway, ATC, let's bring in our guests. Bring it in. From the south side of Chicago, Illinois, let's give it up for Brianna Lemon in the building. That's what's up.
Thank you for the warm welcome.
How you doing?
I'm well. Got caught by a train, but I'm here. I'm
yeah,
here.
As long as you made it. We just got off the phone with your man Marcus Wolf, Sharp brother, one of the liaisons, right?
Correct.
So I want you to tell us real quick about you, your background, and what got you involved in the Chicago Fathers and Sons study?
Okay, so I graduated with my public health degree, my graduate degree from DePaul, and during that time I was working part-time for the program and also working with different nonprofits dealing with at-risk youth and gun violence and things of that nature. And while on the job search, I came across a research assistant position with the study, and they hired me on in that role, and once I graduated, they hired me on full-time as the project coordinator. So I kind of get everything ready for the workshops, help Marcus with the recruitment, interact more so one-on-one with the families when they actually come in, make sure they have good food, make sure they get paid, and all that good stuff. I handle more like the administrative background of it all.
What personally, like what was your personal motivation? I understand it's a job, but you can't just that was the motivation. Come on, help me out.
No,
man.
I mean, I really like working with, I guess, my people, with African American families, and especially with adolescents. So something that kind of catered towards building up families and being there was something that really made me interested in the program. And also, I like working really hands-on with the families as well. So that's kind of what brought me to it. Yes, it pays me pretty nicely, but it's really being able to work with the families and in my own community, because it started in Washington Park, and that's where I grew up. So for me, that was one of the really big factors.
Oh, that's where the program started, here in Washington Park?
Yes. And as far as Chicago, they started in the Washington Park community. I think they attempted Woodlawn. However, they ended up deciding on Washington Park. And then it's more spread to all of the South Side. But Washington Park is my neighborhood.
So how has this work shaped your views and your opinions on some subjects? I'm gonna throw some subjects out at you. I just want to see where your opinion. You're the program coordinator, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we get that. I know you rubbing elbows with all type of information, all type of people, all type of scenarios. You hearing it all. You getting an earful of stuff from people that ain't got nothing to do with whether they're gonna be there tomorrow or not. You need them to be there tomorrow, and you get their whole life spiel.
Yes,
right?
That is true.
Okay.
So for me, it's kind of just opened my eyes. I've always known, because I come from a single parent household, kind of how the dynamics can be between parents trying to co-parent and they not live in the same household. And I know it can be difficult. However, for like my personal experience, it wasn't that bad. My father is absent. However, my mother never like down talked him or anything like that. However, when I actually go out in the field, sometimes I run into that roadblock of mom saying like, oh, the dad's a bad person, and they use a lot of way worse words than that. But and so I have to kind of tell them to kind of separate their own biases, even if they may be justified, to kind of think what's beneficial for their son. And if they think the dad's going to be involved, then we'll step in and we'll talk to the dad, as long as the mother gives us consent. Because for the most part, we get consent through the mom, if that's who we meet first, or through the legal guardian, because sometimes it's the grandmother or an auntie or some other relative. And as long as they say, like, that the dad is a pretty okay person, because sometimes we don't know the situation. For the most part, we proceed forward. And if we meet the dad first, we still have to get consent from the mom that she's just at least allowing her son to attend. So I kind of hear some crazy stories, but for me, I tell them I'm trying to keep it professional, because I don't want any biases of my own against the dads. As long as they're coming and they're being with their son, they're a good person in my eyes. Whatever they do behind the scenes, it's not really my prerogative.
So how long have you been involved with this program?
It's been about, I guess, I've been a project coordinator for 6 months, and I was a research assistant from January to September, so about 9 months. So 9 plus 6.
Have you seen the results of the program with the fathers and sons?
Oh, definitely. A lot of for the families we have had, we just finished our first cohort, which was our pilot group, at the end of January. And with them, a lot of the dads didn't know their sons had like hidden talents or were very sociable. So for them, it was very eye-opening. And then also some of the times we deal with our bullying, and some of the dads didn't know that their sons were being bullied at school or facing those troubles, and they were able to talk with other kids from similar experiences and also kind of let their dad in on it, so that allowed him to step up to the plate and kind of resolve that issue.
Do a lot of dads, you find a lot of dads blaming a lot of women for a lot of stuff? Right.
It's like 50-50.
Right.
Some of the dads have pretty decent relationships, and some dads, I guess, they do bash women from their own personal experiences. So it's kind of 50-50, half and half.
I was, because we was Matisse was talking yesterday, well today actually. We was talking about this videos watching. His name is Tommy Sotomayor. And he just went in on women, just completely, like
Black women.
He just totally went in on black women completely. Like, man, it's y'all fault for this. Y'all fault for this. I don't subscribe to that fully, but it was a lot of stuff that he was saying that has some eye-opening truism about it that that's kind of undeniable in certain situations. It was giving an example of the situation that happened in Baltimore when the mother came out there and started slapping on her son, and they start celebrating her like, hey, well, she's a good mom, look at her, but she got like 6 kids by like 6 different dudes. It was like he was just going in on these truisms. So that made me reflect back to my own household, like meaning my own family structure. Like, right now in my family structure, I'm talking about my entire family structure. I can only say everybody in my family have kids by different people and are not with them. How is that? I guess the emphasis placed on that in this program to say that this is a part of the problem. How do you be honest with that without allowing that to not go unaddressed?
I think it's kind of just allowing the dads to have an open forum, like when they have their qualms about things. So the facilitators, for the most part, are normally men, and normally fathers themselves who have either been married or had children and gone through kind of the same shared experiences. So they can have an open and honest dialogue about things that they feel, I guess, like are faults of the opposite gender, and not kind of shutting them down. So like for the most part, when they're doing sessions, I'm not there. As much as they would love for me to be there, I'm not there. I'm like, y'all got y'all food, y'all got y'all stuff, y'all good, because it's supposed to be their private time. We don't allow the moms to sit in and listen. We don't allow other family members to sit in and listen, and kind of just allowing them to speak their piece about how they feel about things. And then the dads kind of engage back and forth, whether they agree, they disagree, and how they could probably provide some types of solutions. Because I know a lot of them, they do feel, that sometimes the mom keeps them away from their sons or their other kids and things like that. So for them, I think we allow that dialogue to happen because it's important and it's real issues that they're facing.
I'm gonna throw a question out to the audience real quick. Audience, these are 5 facts that explain America's racial divide. And I think it's always important to bring up racial divides when we talk and having these conversations about fathers, and especially in the Black community, especially when the program is specific for African American men. So some of the racial struggles that exist in the society generationally. So I just want to bring up these 5 facts. I'm gonna throw them out there, and I want y'all to begin to chime in on them however y'all want to, even in the audience. Number 1, education. Number 2, wealth. Number 3, health. Number 4, incarceration. Number 5, violence. So we just gonna go as a panel. We're gonna go through them with them. If anybody wants to chime in on Facebook Live, feel free to do so. 5. Number 1, education, wealth, health, incarceration, and violence. Number 1, education. Let's talk about education and the disparity that we can see that's in the Black community, and how do we try to edify through the Chicago Fathers and Sons program when we see that as a scar on their existence?
That's a tricky question. I feel like you saved all the hard-hitting questions for me and not Marcus, but I'll take it. So for education, I think just kind of remembering, at least as far as it applies to the program, because most of the communities we do serve, a lot of their schools are closed down, especially in Washington Park. I know for sure at least one school is closed down in the community the kids are living in, and that kind of forces them to have to go to a certain school that they may not want to go to. And I also see the disparities within the resources at those schools, and also how the parents interact with the staff and things of that nature. And I think it's just kind of just allowing the kids to know what's going on, like really talking with them about what's going on. What do they like about their school? What do they not like about their school? Because I feel like a lot of times the kids feel like they don't have a say until they're involved in a program that asks them, like, so what do you think about school and your teachers? Because most of the kids they just complain. They say the teachers don't listen to me. The teachers let these other kids bully me. The teachers don't teach me anything I feel is important. And I also feel like sometimes the dads get left out of the equation as far as being let in on what's going on with the son at school. Because we have some dads that are like, I know everything that my kid is doing at school because they actually go up to the school and partake, where other dads are kind of like, if the kid doesn't bring the backpack and the photo over, they don't know. And just kind of creating that room for dads to not be forgotten as the other parent, because I think that happens a lot.
What's your take on education? Because I heard something interesting from Jason Perry yesterday. We met up for a meeting in the morning, yesterday morning, and he made a comment that was in relation to Dr. Umar Johnson. He said that, man, it's something, you got these kids going into these classrooms, a lot of these young black men, and they're trying to teach these young black men how to do something, and all of the teachers that's over them are like white women, you know. And so, I mean, it's not saying the white women can't teach, but it's like, will that white woman give that young black man everything he needs? So that was just a question. I just want to see if you have some thoughts on it concerning the educational part of it.
Well, I believe education starts at home anyway. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you gotta raise a kid that's ready to sit in class and want to learn. If you don't raise him a certain way, he's not gonna pay attention in school. But also, I do feel education is, of course, I feel it's a difference from like the inner city and like say the suburbs and things like that. It is a difference. But it started home to me. So I'm not finna, you can't sit here and blame I'm not gonna blame no school saying they're not teaching my kid if I'm not at home working with them, because if they messing up, you're supposed to be there to help them. And they still messing up there. I guess mom and daddy dumb too. They don't know what this kid doing at school. So if you don't help your kid, you can't just blame the school.
I remember a program a few years ago. They had a program out in Chicago Heights. Their school was on the watch list at the time. Wilson Elementary School in Chicago Heights. It was on the watch list, and they had this program that they started. This guy named Fred Cheney. He started this program. He brought he started a cafe inside the school with computers, like a workshop. Parents can come in and fill out job applications and stuff at the school. So what it was doing, it was creating a parental presence at that school, you know, just by dropping the kids off and then being able to go into this cafe, fill out a resume or whatever, you know, and it was making a difference in the behavior of the students. So I thought that was an interesting approach to it. Wealth. Talk about the wealth disparity. I mean, I know we get tired of having these conversations in an overall, in general sense, but we have to because they exist.
Now, that to me, that goes with the education, because in school, well, I haven't been in school in a while, but back in school, we was always taught to work. I mean, our plan was to get your education, get your diploma, so you get your degrees, then you can go work for somebody else. So that's not the plan to get wealth. I don't know how much wealth you're gonna acquire when you're wasting your 8 hours a day making somebody else's dream come true. So we're not really taught to own and taught to try to make your own business and let our minds take off. Our minds are limited. They keep our minds limited. So I think wealth goes to education, because a lot of schools in the suburbs, they're taught to be creative and invent things and that nature, where we taught to, you know, you got to go to school to get a job. You know, so.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I definitely agree that wealth all stems back from education, but also I think things have changed and shifted a little bit, at least for me, because I guess I'm probably younger generation.
Definitely younger generation.
So like when I was going to school, when I was going to college just in 2011, I was enrolling in school, and the thing was, mom was like, you need to be a doctor, you need to be a doctor, you need to be something that makes some money. And of course, I did not end up being a doctor, as we're here to see, because all that was too hard for me, and I wasn't interested in it. But eventually, I did stumble into something that is my passion. However, now I'm seeing with my younger siblings, because I have siblings that are going into college or freshmen in college, and also friends around me, it's more like, I feel like, especially in Chicago, it's an artistic renaissance. Like, the kids are being pushed more now to follow their passions. Like, yes, still go to school, but if you go to school and say you like music, go to school and yes, you could rap on the side, but go to school for engineering in case that rapping doesn't work out. So maybe you could be a producer or things like that, or write for someone. Or even if, like, for example, my brothers, like, they're apparently YouTube famous or something. I don't know, but they do a lot of stuff on the computer. And now my mom's interested in them going to school for mainly their interests, theater, graphic design, stuff like that. So I think it's kind of now the entrepreneurial wave has kind of hit, especially within our communities, especially I think coming with like Chance the Rapper and like different clothing lines being started and making a big name for themselves here. So I think wealth does stem from education. But also now I think things are kind of shifting now where we're kind of like, I don't want to work for the man anymore. Or, the parents are like, you ain't got to work for nobody no more. Get that degree. But when you graduate, do what you want to do, start your own thing. And, instead of waiting for someone to create room for you, make your own room type of thing.
Yeah, but one of the things I see with education, though, is education has gotten really political. It's like they turn a lot of teachers into like these secretaries now. They all they doing is paperwork, and it makes it hard. It makes a lot of the teachers, they lose love for it. They lose love for teaching. So once it becomes a job, just to say, programs like No Child Left Behind, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? The dude is scuffling, struggling. He ain't doing the work, and y'all just push him along anyway. And then if they don't, when the way they've changed the curriculum so much, put a speed on the curriculum so much to the point where it's almost tough to keep up with. It's almost tough to keep up with. And if they can't keep up with the speed in which they're making it mandatory to implement, they calling them remedial. They got a learning disability.
Right, that's tough.
And that's not even the case all the time.
No. Health. Let's talk about health
like health disparities
in a black community. What are you talking about in the black community?
Our health is so bad. I'm so tired of seeing like little chubby kids all over the place at like 3 years old. And I don't have anything against people that are a little overweight because I'm a skinny mini. But like that's one of our big issues, especially with childhood obesity and a lot of kids not being active. And I understand our streets aren't always safe, but it's other ways you could go about engaging your child and taking them out to play and feeding them healthier food options, even though we do live in food deserts, but just being more mindful of things like that. Because I don't think healthy eating is just eating salads, because I hate salads. They're disgusting to me. They taste like dirt. But healthy eating could be, you guys ate all this junk food and fried chicken and McDonald's on this day, so maybe the next day, throw some fruit up in there, throw some veggies up in there, mix it up, have a colorful plate, because apparently that's how you decide on if your plate's healthy or not, like how colorful it is. And I think a lot of times we aren't given the choice to discuss the health disparities in our community, especially as far as people, they just kind of accept, community doesn't have a grocery store. It's Whole Foods in Inglewood now. So, anything is possible. I think so.
Wholewood in Inglewood?
Yeah, it's on like...
The prices ain't the same, but they benefit.
No, they cheap. They cheap in Inglewood.
They cheaper in Inglewood?
They cheaper in Inglewood. So, like, I say in Hyde Park, it's a Whole Foods there, but the Inglewood and Hyde Park prices are different. Okay. So they kind of tailored it to the community, which a lot of people don't know.
Okay.
But it's also right next to Aldi's, so you can still go to Aldi's now. Do your thing, but yeah.
Yeah, health is, I've been on a big health kick. I mean, I don't know if the food tastes like dirt. You said let it taste like dirt.
I don't eat like spinach salad. And then I put like a lot of meat and eggs and fruit and stuff in it.
Right. All of it, all healthy eating don't taste wonderful. I mean, I love kale, though. I fell in love with kale. You don't like kale? Like, oh, man, kale is the bomb. Kale, I love kale.
Yeah, ain't no wrong with that.
Spinach disappear. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you start cooking spinach, it just disappeared. It get real small anyway. Incarceration. Let's talk about incarceration. What are you finding in your study, the Chicago father and son studies, mostly from the father or the sons? Like, you have a lot of these. Is there a lot of backgrounds in incarceration from the fathers? That's more of a question, I guess.
Since we haven't had that many fathers yet in Chicago, I can't like fully give like a percentage, but we have had about 1 or 2 fathers who had expressed that they had a background in being incarcerated and going through the system and things like that. And for that, I think it kind of shifted. For those dads, they kind of have more words of wisdom for the other dads to share, as far as when they would have discussions about friends and family and community health and wealth and things like that, and like how strong a household should be, because since they had seen so much, Most of the dads were like, at least the ones that are incarcerated, saying, family was the most important thing because, your friends, they were having a topic on like friends and what that meant. And they were like, your friends will leave you behind. However, when you're back against the wall, you locked up, your family's always there. Mm-hmm. And, you shouldn't have to end up in that situation to realize who's in your corner and who's not, because they saw how it affected their relationship with their children and their wives and things like that.
Incarceration, the conversation sort of bothers me because a lot of times we get to saying like we had no other choice. We take a disposition sometimes to like we had no other choice. And I know that's not, an area that most people have the expertise to answer, so it's just my own personal statement that's saying, if you don't want to get locked up, the system is not holding you back. If you don't want to get locked up, you don't need to do that thing that could get you locked up. To me, it's kind of simple like that. To me, if I don't want to go to jail for selling drugs, I'm not gonna sell drugs. If I'm not,
But if selling drugs a way for you to eat, you're not gonna eat.
Yeah, I mean that's not the only way you need to eat.
I'm talking for the guys. It is. What are some guys out there that actually did apply for a job but didn't get it?
Yeah, I mean I'm not saying just because they apply for a job. What I'm saying is this incarceration thing. You got to address this subject like there is other options. You can't sit up and talk about this like I had to do that in order to eat. That's not the way we should talk about it. We should talk about it.
That's the truth.
Like it may be the truth,
so
because that's what they decided to do. It's not the truth.
No. What if they literally and figuratively had nothing to eat,
right?
And a way for him to eat was sell him some weed.
Selling weed, when you sit up here hungry and the first thing you think about doing, sell me some weed.
I can do something to make some money to eat.
If you can't go through a whole process to go get the weed. TC.
But we're not gonna talk about how he got it. He got it though. Just say if he got. We just talk about. You said selling. They're doing something. I'm saying
weed and stuff like that is more impression. The impression of a lifestyle. That's what the appetite is. It's not you out there hungry, out there trying to make a living. You like, man, give me some work. That ain't that it's an impression of a lifestyle that comes first. When we was young and we started looking at drug dealers and people who was doing their thing, it was the impression of the lifestyle that was getting us. They pulling up in nice whips and stuff like that. We weren't trying to emulate the weed dudes who got the weed in his sock and then he ride away on a bike. That ain't who we wanted to be like. We wanted to be like, you know what I'm saying? You think about Superfly. We wanted to be like Superfly, the pimps, the players, the cats who got a lifestyle. And then, cool guy with a fingernail out, tooting cocaine, like, that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff that was impressing us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm just being honest. Like we be talking about it like that's how our mindset then got fixated on accepting that incarceration, and it bothered me because it ain't true. We got other options.
It ain't that they're accepting incarceration, but what you are denying, that you acting like I understand what you're saying, but in reality, everybody ain't selling no drugs so they can look a certain way or because they want to look like the other person. Mm-hmm. They see what the money bring and what their money could do to help their family. So let's be honest now.
This is a result of the absence of fathers. Because a father will stop that way of thinking.
We weren't talking about that. We talking about we just speaking what you said.
Incarceration.
Right, incarceration.
And it ties directly into the reason for the Chicago father study to me. It ties directly
for this.
Because it takes those. See, when you don't have a father in the home, the first thing it does is it puts the impression of a fast lifestyle or get it quick type thing. A father gonna be a steady, slow teacher.
But why is that in that child's mind?
Because they don't have that governance. That's what I'm saying.
Because they seeing their mama struggle.
Right. Okay. I'm listening.
You know what I'm saying? They seeing it.
Right.
So if you nowadays, let's be real. We're gonna talk about these systems. Look at Esmond in the hood.
Okay.
Can't even play basketball. They have a basketball team. So now you're keeping the shorties outside, and they seeing in neighborhoods when it's not right, and they seeing guys smoking weed and selling weed, making money to help. You can, and you go home and see your mama hungry, it's gonna make you want to do something.
This is why this program. I want to keep talking about that, but I just want to get out the program eligibilities. Let's get back to the Chicago father and son study. The program eligibilities for African American fathers and their 8 to 12-year-old biological sons who do not live together. So that's almost saying, hey, we got a program here that you want to be involved in your son's life. He's 8 to 12 years old. He doesn't live with you, okay? But you want to be engaged and involved. So even if the mother the son who's or the legal guardian will have to give permission for the child to participate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we got a meeting spot that can be productive. And how long do they follow the father and the son?
So they meet for about 8 weeks, 2 nights out of the week, from 6 to 8. And it'll either be on Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday. It's kind of random. And after they complete that 8 weeks, we close out with the closing ceremony. We give them some nice gifts and things like that. We invite the moms, the grandmas, whoever they feel close to come and watch them showcase their talents and kind of talk about what they've learned and what they've experienced. And then we keep in touch with them for about 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months. Doing follow-up surveys that they get paid for and just kind of to check in and see how they're doing in life and like what's going on, if anything's changed for the better or for the worse. And we also keep in touch through small contact like holiday cards and birthday cards and maybe even small trips or things like that.
I'm too like I said, I asked Marcus, I'm too old to be a son. I can't get no gifts or nothing, huh? But look, back to this incarceration thing for a second.
Yeah.
That part, man, is I listen to it, and I have a hard time a lot of times talking with other quote unquote black men on that subject because there's an empathy for some of the ones that's why I never sold drugs. It's like because it was like they was getting locked up or killed. I'm not saying I'm different because I made that observation or that decision. I'm not saying that, but all of the stuff that was in place, that could have been in place. We had the muscle, tough, had a car, had a whip. But man, it was like people we knew and loved was getting locked up. It ain't nothing about not being free. Man, I got locked up for one day, man. I almost went crazy, man. For my license being suspended, man. I was going to Michigan, man. I got locked up, man. I almost went crazy, man. I don't know, man. I almost went crazy. I'm in there rapping to myself, doing push-ups, locked in a cell. You might as well because I'm locked in. I was going crazy, man. That let me know I ain't want to do this, man. You ain't have to tell me nothing else. Locked in a cell. Man, come on, man. Well, that incarceration, man. Anytime I hear people talking like that and bragging about that, I'm saying. Go ahead. What was you?
I'm saying, what you call bragging? Like,
I guess bragging in the sense of that impressed, like putting that you know what I'm saying. I get a lot of this from some of the cats I know. You know what I'm saying, and it's always got this. You know what I'm saying. You ain't one of them people, man. You ain't. You know what I'm saying. You ain't been down. Like you ain't no good criminal. If you've been locked up, that ain't no good criminal. The point of doing a crime is not to get caught. You know what I'm saying? I don't get that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't, man. That all that badge of honor stuff that comes from being locked up, I can't stand it because it's stupid to me, and it's affecting our people. It's our men we sitting up here with these high numbers of people getting locked up. It ain't funny no more. It's not funny. It's not a badge of honor because you got all these tats on your neck. And you supposed to be a goon. Yeah, man, when I was in boot camp, man, and when I was in boot camp in the military, and I'm sitting up here looking around, everybody bragging about how tough they was in their neighborhood. I said it can't be possible. How's everybody tough? This is what going to jail people sound like. Everybody tough. You got to be some busters out there in order for the tough guys to have reputations. Now, everybody I'm looking at is a goon all of a sudden now. And that's the way some of these cats who hanging around other goons, trying to ride off other goons' reputation, and they begin to psychologically believe it so much that coward dude who riding off another dude reputation will kill you or destroy your life trying to prove that he one of them real dudes. And that's fear. And nobody talking about it. And it bothered me because next thing you do, now I'm in a mentorship program raising another man's son. And this is our people doing this. And I'm not saying that other people ain't got no stuff wrong with their families, but anyway, I just, it's a personal subject for me.
I see.
It's a personal subject for me. We need to get our men together. So tell us, how can people get in contact with the Chicago Fathers and Sons study?
For people to get in contact with the study, if you call 312-877-5870, you will speak to either myself or our research assistant. And we'll just kind of go through a screening form over the phone just to make sure you're eligible. Because I know people do get excited and want to participate. However, if you live at home with your children, I'm sorry, you're not qualified. Keep living at home with your children. Not disagreeing with that. Or you can email.
Don't leave.
Yeah,
don't leave your
don't
crib
leave.
so you can get some gifts.
Yeah, please don't leave. Stay there, do your thing. Or you can email my personal email, which is B as in boy, L as in lion, E as in egg, M as in Malcolm, at UM as in Michigan. I don't know, I'm not good at this. ICH.edu. I should be better at this. My mom's in the military.
Complete now. Say it complete.
Okay, so it's blim at umich.edu.
Okay.
So yeah.
I want to
You need to write
respond
it
back
down
to this
or
though. I want to respond back to this.
Go ahead,
incarceration
Mr.
subject.
TC.
I want to ask you a question. That's all.
Sure, I'm listening.
So we're not talking about the dudes, and it's not glorifying people to go to jail or sell drugs. I just want a question to my brother.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna speak on the ones that's not trying to, the ones you ran into that's trying to do it for the other people and all that. So if you saw a way there was a risk to help your family, would you do it?
Not that way. Not.
So it's certain. No, let me finish.
Because there's something connected
It's
to
certain. I'm just saying, like you said, I understand. I heard you earlier about the jail and things. You know what I'm saying, so basically, you won't break any law for your family.
Well, peep this out. I'm gonna answer that with this. Number 5, violence. This is number 5 on the list. Just violence, right? Violence. Now, if I do anything that will require violence in order to maintain my standing in what I'm doing, I should not do it. You know, if it's going to require me violence that I don't necessarily have to be engaged in. This is a decision that I'm making. Violence come with this. Violence come with being in a mafia. Violence come with selling drugs. Violence come with it. So if violence come with it, why would I be engaged in? I got to feed my violence. But you got to know what you're doing. You got to know this is what it is. This is what it is. So when we go to addressing the issues that's going on in fatherless homes, we gotta look at incarceration, violence. We gotta look at why these men with this energy are making these decisions, talking about they gotta feed their family.
So that's why I'm bringing this up. So my point is, there's no law you will break if you to help your family.
I don't know. I can't really say that. I don't know if there's any law that I'll break.
Because what I'm asking is, that's why I brought taxes. That's why I brought up violence. You go to jail for that too. But I'm just saying you go to jail for that. But
I might claim your kid.
You're going to jail though. You're going to jail. But my question is, the reason why I brought that up and asked you that was because you'll protect your son.
Yeah.
And that will send you to jail.
Yeah. No. Okay.
So the point I'm making is, you just don't understand the risk they would take as far as jail, for like selling drugs. But like if something happened, you more cool-headed, I will admit, mature than me. But I still think and know, well, I might be wrong, but I know you going in certain scenarios.
Yeah. And
the objection or the result of going to jail is not going to be something to stop you from doing what you want to do. So that's, I mean, I'm not saying you have to agree because it's drug selling, but when somebody have a decision they're going to make because they have to make it, they willing to take the risk because the other side, the reward side, if some families and guys, man, the gratification of your mama not paying no rent for 4 months, or the gratification of feeding your family and your mama ain't struggling, crying, I mean, it's worth that to them.
Right. Well, TC, Flint, Michigan is decimated. Detroit is decimated. Our communities are getting destroyed with this goofy logic.
So what about the water? What about the water in Michigan? So evidently, it's a bigger problem than it's a reason why the drugs in Michigan that y'all never want to address.
We gotta
if you always want to go there.
We always gotta grab. We always gotta grab self-control of ourselves. Wow. Period. Wow. We gotta grab self-control of ourselves.
I got a question, then, bro.
Yeah.
So let me see. Since nobody,
this is Bob and TC.
Yeah, this we do, and we want to ask you too. We want your opinion on this. Want your opinion on this because see, this is where I fall out when I hear responses like that, because I get judged like that too. How can you judge me off my reaction? That's my question. If you put these people and put liquor stores all in their communities. They didn't vote for them, but they all in there, right?
Right.
You bringing drugs to that. Don't tell me dude in Flint, Michigan is going to Mexico. Don't tell me that. And don't tell me, because we know better, that they don't know the big drug lords. But it's a coincidence. But you want to judge the people after they've been put in certain situations and telling they supposed to make decisions. And they right. We can talk about what black people shouldn't do, and you don't use the man as an excuse. But to me, y'all, that is so diluted, because if they put you in a situation, and some gonna make it out and some not. That's why I was calling it systematic. So it's designed to bring you in a certain way. Now, some people could try their best to not make it. Make it out of it, and we get them the props. But those that don't, to me, shouldn't be throw dirt on them because they weren't able to beat the scheme that was put on them. Just like them projects. They proved what it was about. With the purpose of making this, putting all them people on top of each other. You know what's gonna happen. So, but instead of addressing what we supposed to address, we want to say y'all shouldn't have let just because it's the result of what they did, we still wrong, or they wrong for falling, or for a system that was designed to put them in there anyway.
The systems could be designed for a whole bunch of things, but sooner or later we got to stop saying don't allow the system design to affect you. We got to say that.
Well, I feel like you need to stop the system. That's why I don't be believing with all this old walking down the street, doing all these meetings, when you know, how you gonna do a community meeting down the street in Michigan, in the hood on Michigan and Roseland, and there's a police station right down the street. Why you ain't down there picking at them? You know, it's a law when people stand all in the street. It's called loitering. They're not doing their job. But instead of going down there and protest what the problem is, you want to protest the result of the people not taking care of their business, so that problem wouldn't exist. That's what y'all do. Because the problem could be fixed. You can't go stand in Frankfurt and 55 black people or anybody gather up there. The police gonna make you move. But you can ride through Roseland down Michigan and you'll see 1 million people out in the streets standing there doing everything, and the police will ride past it and won't enforce the law. Why not? Because they know what environment that's gonna create. So instead of, I'm not saying you're supposed to get the people a pass for perpetuating what they're setting you up to do, but sooner or later you need to get the people that's making this, even putting the situation even there. When are we gonna start talking about them?
Now, when are we gonna stop looking around for people to with the things that we control? That is the craziest logic to me. In complete existence. What do you not control with your life? What do you not control? What do you not control?
You don't control what family you're born into.
You may not control what family you're born
into.
And
you don't control what economic stance you come into. Yeah. You don't control the environment you're in. Now, some people, I'm not knocking those who did. Congratulations. But that don't mean you forget about the ones who couldn't mentally beat the game. Right. Let's be real for a minute. If every day, this is the point I'm making, what we supposed to do, in my opinion, is we pay taxes for people that's supposed to do this job. If you let a little girl with a body walk down the street to school every day, do them things, sooner or later, something's gonna happen. Either they're gonna holler at her, they're gonna get her, something's gonna happen. But if they did that so-called job, which is a real law, I'm not making up, get them off them corners, then maybe kids can go past and walk and do what they're supposed to do. But we want to get at the kids for making the wrong decision for a situation that somebody is paid, that's their job to prevent. So why are we not talking about the people that's not doing their job that's supposed to prevent these situations? Because you can't tell me they can't do it. You can't tell me the police. There's enough police stations on 111 from our hood, from Homewood to Michigan, 2 major ones.
Which one is it? Is it the parents' responsibility? Now you talking about a system
outside the house, outside the system. You can prepare your kids in the house. That's why they say don't take them away from the hood, leave them in the hood. But in reality, you can prepare your kid if it was in here. But if the dudes out there shooting and gangbanging, my son walk past and get hit, they ain't got nothing about parenting in the crib.
Remember that example about the girl in Chicago, the lady in Chicago, they had 5 sons that got killed. After the first, after my kid I'm moving. If I got 5 sons and my first son gets shot, bow, I'm moving. I don't care. I'm moving to Idaho somewhere. She stayed and all 5 of her sons got killed. Like, And you saying she had no control of the
So you
system
said what you
being
gonna do? What you finna sit up here and do? Since you want to bring that up.
Yeah.
What you finna sit up here and do is say, because she didn't move after the first or second, third, fourth, whatever, all 5 of her kids was murdered without understanding who that woman is.
Meaning
whatever she been through in her life or her experiences. Because you didn't go through it, you don't know what changed her mind. So how can you make a judgment on somebody that you don't know what they've been through? Because they've been through. You say, I understand what you're saying, what you wouldn't do, and I agree. It's things I wouldn't do. But we really trying to find a reason. It's not about you and me no more.
Right.
We need to find out what's her thought process. Why she grew up to be thought that way, so we can fix the problem. Saying what we would do ain't gonna fix the problem because it ain't us.
Right.
But what really happened was the person who didn't move. What made her not think to move? Right. But see, we don't know what's been in her life.
Okay, and what we gonna do? Keep on having our neighborhoods destroyed because we won't say something as simple as, "Hey, if this don't make sense for you, you need to move." That's my point. It's like something as simple as that. We end up always got these. We got a program. We need a program for things that is almost common sense. If they shooting over there, killing over there, either everybody band together and stop this shooting and stop this no snitch code stuff. Because
you see,
this just look, man. What you gonna do? Live in fear for all your life, or you still dying? Your people still dying.
That's what y'all. That's where I'm glad. See, this how y'all mess up.
Yeah,
you saying those snitch code and what we gonna do and what we gonna do about the people shooting, and it's people that taking money out of my taxes every day that's paid to do their job to do that. Right now, TCU. Now you
actually agree with me on this. Now I don't know if you remember. You agreeing with me on this. What you said was like, if somebody shoot somebody in your family, you tell it, right? That if somebody shoot,
I know a lot of people that do tell it. Don't still happen. It don't bring no results.
I could tell because I ain't in the game. See,
that ain't y'all. That's bogus talk.
What you mean by bogus talk? What does that mean?
Because you was not finna tell me you might not get to what y'all do. And that just kills me.
Who is this? Y'all.
Wait, where you sound right now?
Well, this is Bob talking.
Well, you sound Bob right now. What Bob killing me right now. What Bob is saying.
Okay, yeah.
You just sit up and said that you're gonna really use the fact and make an argument on something that's garbage because everybody, I'm gonna say 90% of people I know that know that somebody shot somebody in their family, they do tell.
Right.
They do tell. So don't be saying. But again, the people that's designed to take care of that don't do what they supposed to do. But instead of approaching like we supposed to, we want to say, snitching rule is reason why it is. If somebody's shooting over there, we're going to go over there and stop them. Why am I supposed to be the police? But see, they're not made to do their job. See, what's real about the situation when you hear this explanation. It's like, we talk about the neighborhood, like it's big police stations all around there. But why? Let's be real. We old enough to understand less crime means less need of police officers. So if you sit there in roads, you can't tell me it's just not. It's a law saying you can't be in the street, Lord. You can't do it.
Okay.
Why do the police let it happen? Let's be real for a minute. That is their job. Why? Because they know if it's Roseland. They know gangs on this side of the street. They know gangs on that side of the street. And if they all be together, what's going to happen? More ways for them to be able to detect it.
So what you gonna say? Everything just gonna stay the same?
No, what I'm saying is, as long as we keep protesting and complaining about our kids and not go protest what we supposed to protest, then yeah, they're gonna stay just like this. Because they getting a scapegoat. If you go to work and do what you're supposed to do, you're fired. Period.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean by like trying to correct our kids? What do you mean? Like we not supposed to correct our own?
No. You missing it. You missing it.
What am I missing?
What you missing? I'm saying this. If say you raise your kid like you rose to, and he's still outside loitering, right? I'm
saying because you are this house. You are this protective father I'm talking about. You are that.
But understand this though. Understand this. I knew to get him away.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't have made it. I wouldn't have made it. But the point I'm making though, I don't, because I did get mine away.
Okay.
Don't mean I don't understand why others can't.
It don't mean that I don't understand.
To be like I'm judging them, like why you just they move. It's reason. Don't forget.
Okay, you acting like I'm insulting them because they have a decision that they are failing to make.
But no,
same way you made yours.
No. But see, it's experiences that I've been through that made me make mine.
Okay,
so what I'm saying is,
it becomes our responsibility to go back and tell them whoever need to make a decision. It becomes our responsibility. That's what mentorship programs is about. That's what meeting with them. That's what it's about. It's to say you got options. You got options. You don't have to sit there and allow your neighborhood to get destroyed because of some system.
That's what y'all saying. And that's what y'all sound so, because it's not your neighborhood. Go over there and try to do something. You going to jail. That's not your neighborhood.
What you mean?
When you say let our neighborhood be destroyed, what you mean? Go over there and do something and see what happens. You will go to jail. So it's not, that's why nothing happens, because we have the belief like that's really our neighborhood.
Well, I'm talking about wherever you live.
You can't do nothing about wherever you live, but you gotta call the police.
Give you an example.
Real, Bob.
Let me give you an example. Okay, like when I was when my boys was young, okay, I used to let them camp out in the garage, you know, and a whole bunch of boys in the neighborhood came over. It was you've been over there, used to see how it used to go down, because I wanted to know what was going on in my neighborhood. That was the point. Now, so if you couldn't stop it all, but maybe you could say something here or say something there that'll give somebody a chance to think about the options that they have. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Why we as our people always gotta do all this extra stuff when you have some? You know what?
I'm talking about as a father. I'm not talking about our people. I'm talking about as a man.
I'm speaking as a father. But see, it still it intertwines. Let me show you how.
Okay.
Now, the culture in Frankfurt and in other neighborhoods, you know, when you call the police, right?
Mm-hmm.
You call the police. But then when they start talking about our neighborhoods, well, we need to go back and get our neighborhood straight, because that shows that we can't call the police. Because everything that goes on in our neighborhood when it comes to drug dealing, don't tell me we can't ride. We can ride leave here right now. It's sunny out there. We can ride through the hood of Inglewood. You're going to see them out there, just like we see them out there.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality,
I see him in Chicago.
Right. So the point I'm making,
I see him in Chicago, all over the place.
So the point I'm making is, let's be real for a minute.
That's why I drive that grandfather car.
What is called though, Bob? What is called?
What?
What is called when you all gathering in the street like that?
Loitering, right?
Right.
Right.
Why they only drive past it in our neighborhood? Because in Cal City, 159th liquor store over there, I dare you try to stand out there with 4 or 5 people out there. You know what that does? That put a presence that is not tolerated. It sets up a whole condition in the neighborhood. So the ones who do raise their kids right and try to sit them out there, it's another field that we ain't even addressing. We ain't even addressing the fact that half the stuff we talk about, we complain about, is laws against to stop it, and ain't nothing been done.
But see, the thing is,
ain't nothing been done.
Like if you was to say a law was made that kind of go against kind of naturally how we are, like loitering, for example. Black people tend to be able to do that more, and it really not necessarily be doing anything wrong. That how we hang out. We signify. We the type that be standing on the corner signifying with each other, talking, cracking jokes. We just came from shooting ball or something like that. I'm saying there's a natural function to that is not necessarily anything illegal in our mind, right? So in order for you to say, well, to do that, then that would just almost be like picking on them. You know, and so I think that's when you ask why there could be possibly a tolerance for that in the Black community, because if you learn the Black community, that is looked at as kind of like something that's not in a certain sense dangerous, but it could become dangerous depending on the group of cats. And that's all I'm saying. You can't just stop every group and be like, man, it's 6, 7 of them hanging out. You know what I mean? This is a part of their little social movement. This is part of we met our little girls when we was young. This is what we do. The Chili's just got off practice. We just got off. We all walking from school, and some police come pull. Hey, y'all can't be doing.
We walking from school. Now you go now. See what I'm saying? So all right. I don't even want. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Walk off from the school. Now you try to turn like I'm talking about. He finna go get to the 7th grade. They can't hang up. Hey,
that ain't what I even said, man. What are you talking about then? So I can understand, because I thought I understood what you're talking about.
You said your point. You said the lottery. You said, so what about the kids? Well, somebody come out. That's when we hung up. Wow, we were 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't remember being 35 on no corner no more.
Well, make sure I understand the point that you think I'm missing. Make me understand the point you think I'm missing, because I don't even think I'm missing your point.
I ain't saying missing. I'm saying when you bring up the point to try to make a point about it, you got to go down talking about the like kids and change the whole narrative. What I'm talking about need to be took off the streets by loitering. I'm not talking about no little 11, 12-year-olds playing it outside, can't go. No, I'm talking about the gathering. The gathering that be going on out there is not supposed to be going on out there. period. And they drive past it in certain areas, but other areas they're not gonna let it go on.
Yeah.
They're not. That's all I'm saying. So why that's not being addressed?
Okay, we talking about what the police are not doing.
Yeah, why?
Okay,
yes.
Because I don't want to miss your point, right?
Yeah,
here.
that's my point, Bob. With the
Okay,
police,
that's
why
the
that's
point
not
you
being
made.
addressed?
Okay,
why is that whole? Because why? I'm just want to know why is that not even?
And my emphasis is more, okay, so I understand your point. Now, my emphasis is more on this. My emphasis is more on the self-control that is being taught from your own household. And sometimes that get missed, like you being dismissive about the system. And that's unfair. Because the very thing I spent my entire life doing is teaching people discipline and self-control. That's what do you control? That's my entire commitment. So I don't see how my point is being missed to suggest that I'm saying that the system is automatically going to run you over whether or not you practicing discipline and self-control. I don't agree with that philosophy. That's what I'm saying. Tell us again about the Chicago Fathers and Sons study.
You sorry. Welcome to Job Jack.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So the Chicago Fathers and Sons study is for African American fathers and their non-residential biological sons between the ages of 8 to 12 years old to come together and participate, focus on physical activity, nutrition, and parenting and health awareness. We meet for about 8 weeks. We provide food and not just orders like real food, pizza, Italian beefs, all that, chicken, whatever you like, we provide it type of thing. We pay you for your time, and we also complete surveys. So we follow up with you guys for 6 months, 12 months, and 18 months. And we can be reached by phone at 312-877-5870 or by email at fathersandsons@umich.edu. And I repeat, the best way is honestly the phone, 312-877-5870 or by email at fathersandsons@umich.edu.
Now I got 6 sons and all of them 7 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
By different women. Do I get paid for all of them?
All your sons get paid. You get paid for just being one dad.
Brianna Lemon, thank you for coming in and jaw jacking. Thank you for listening to Jaw Jacking with Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com. Always, as always, like and share the video. Share our video. You know, check us out. I'm sorry. Just want to say, if you wanted a ticket, it's time to go back. 403 West Lincoln Highway. Tickets are $20. March 17th. Come check your boy out in my acting. This ain't my acting date.
Right. Check Bob out acting.
Come check me out, man. You know, I promise you I have some chapstick on my lips that day. $20 tickets, $25 at the door. What else? That's it, TC.
Oh yeah, shout out to K Guns, Birth Against the album. Good entertainment in the building. Check out the album on CD Baby or to dial everywhere out there in the business. Check it out.
Give it up for Brianna Lemon in the building. Jaw Jacking Bob and TC on IntellectualRadio.com.